secret recording. So anyway, Ruby, why don't you share your let me share real quick the email from Dan. Hang on just a second. So everybody knows what the project is. And, right here. Go to the meeting. Share my screen. That's not it. That's not it. That's it. So if you can see the email here, I'm pretty sure. You guys can see that?
Yes.
Okay, so the meeting's on the 24th. He's gonna have a training class for the service and USGR teams. How many people is that, do you think, Ruby?
Easily. So if it's for USGR, if it's for everybody, all three divisions, probably a good 150 people.
Wow.
They're all getting the same email?
Well, no.
No, this is the class.
Yeah, just the meeting.
You think there'll be 150 people there?
I think so. I mean, if it's service, USGR, I mean,
Okay, so
all
we
three
better,
divisions for sure.
yeah, so I better be good.
Yep.
Or Brian, me or Brian. The team get bombarded with customer emails. We need to make a setup simpler for the customer, but it creates a mess on our, in other words, it's real easy for the customer and it's a real nightmare for our people.
Yep.
And the meeting's the 24th, and you wanted Ruby to do something, but we're just gonna do it here. And I'll probably do a couple other people too. Ruby, if you know of who Dan's thinking of in particular, I want 3 or 4 names, maybe 5 names. And I'm gonna do the same thing with those guys so we have a real handle on what we're doing here.
On the type of like emails and stuff probably that they're getting.
No, I mean the tech that's getting the emails or the person. That at this meeting would be somebody this is really designed for. The meeting was designed for.
Oh, because I think, I mean, the biggest thing that we're finding is, let me give you guys an example, watch.
Why don't you share your screen?
It says a host disabled participant sharing.
Well, that's because the host just isn't got it together.
Gotta talk to that host.
Exactly. Johnny, why you gotta be that way?
They'll get
All right,
it together eventually.
Yeah. There you go.
Or she. I'm not sure who that is.
All right, so for instance, like this is just an example of like my emails, right? I get CC'd on everything.
Okay.
So because I oversee the CCRs, the majority of them do reply back and CC me on their emails, or when they just send stuff out and I'm just CC'd on there. So it's a good ton of stuff to try to filter through. Honestly, I tend to go off of like what has my name or my heading, or if there's anything that I know for a fact, like there's an emergency. But I do have folders, like my Corrigo one, but this puts everything together. So everything that comes in just with this email address gets sent into this inbox.
That's because you have a filter for that, right?
Yeah. So
and now do those guys in this big meeting, do they have a filter like this, most of them, or
I
they
mean,
don't?
Some people do. It just depends, right? Because I handle the back office, then I'm responsible to make sure that everybody, any customer accounts that my team is on top of, and they, you know what I mean? So if there's any new customers, so there may be, emails that come in, just invoicing, just things like that do clog up our inbox. And so, but it constantly requires us to be going back and forth, like switching back and forth, like, oh, is this a dispatch? Okay, this is a dispatch. Is this a message? So I think it's more of this kind of stuff, like how can we filter this information so that, if it's just a message, then it goes into one box. If it's an emergency, what are the key things that we can do to help us set up, you know, our inboxes, so we know, hey, these are approvals, these are requests, these are just messages, if that makes any sense.
Can you show
It's
me?
like,
Can you
so
show
like
me?
this one, huh?
Can you show me an emergency email?
So for instance, like this one. So this is a PM, this is a like a typical work order that comes in. See? And it has stuff like this, like down here, it'll say like quarterly maintenance. But if you look at the headline, like the subject line, the only difference on a lot of them, to be quite honest, is just the work order number. So we can't really go based off of this. It's more in it's like the subject in here. You see what I mean?
Part of the problem on sorting or filtering is we can't filter off a document like that. I don't think, can we? We can't filter off this, right, Johnny?
If the
Is that a
body,
PDF? That looks like it's the, it looks like it's the subject, I'm sorry, the body of the document.
It does. This one does?
Yeah,
Okay, so I guess I'm
she
wrong.
didn't open a separate attachment.
Oh, okay. Now, Ruby, how do you know it's an emergency on that one?
I mean, like I said, I have to go in and look at normally the description here.
What
So
do they
this one's
say?
not an emergency?
So this is a PM. So this is something that can be scheduled,
What does PM,
um,
what does PM mean? Because we're not,
preventative maintenance. So, you know, just upkeeping of the generator, but this is something that doesn't require us to immediately dispatch. Like if I was to pull up one that was like an immediate request, it'll typically say like 4 hours. Let me see real quick. See, like this one says 30 days. Some of them will say 30 days. Hey, where is it? Let me see.
so is this alert email, is that all of the emails that just go to alert? Is alert separated out? Or is it, is alert all the emails in the world, or is it separated out and it's different?
From
Everything that's-
Corrigo,
Yeah,
yeah.
everything for Corrigo, yeah.
What's that?
Yeah, everything that comes in for Corrigo.
That
You might-
alerts is their email from Corrigo Pro, which is the work order system that customer uses.
Right.
Okay, and is this where the volume of emails come from?
No, I mean, we have distribution lists. It just depends, like, for instance, like this is just for Corrigo. The way I have my folder set up is just for Corrigo. Then I have,
Okay,
know,
let me
anything-
ask, yeah, stay with Corrigo,
okay,
go back to Corrigo.
okay.
Okay, what would you like filtered out of this in the first place? What's a category?
I think for me, it's messages.
So where's it, where, in the body of the email, what are we looking for? Like, that we could sort off of?
So if you look at this, like this is a work order that came in.
Okay,
But they're asking a question in regards to the work order.
right.
So maybe if there was a way to categorize, you know, something that's like this one right here, this is an approval.
So what word
may
are
I
you
chime
looking?
in real quick?
What's up?
May I chime in real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
For the message one, if you click on the message email,
Uh-huh.
can we filter out the body that says sent a new message? Is it always a message from the client? We can filter out if it's just the new
Yeah.
message.
Could
Let's say-
probably do that on the subject line too. See where it says a new message.
Mhm.
And these look like they're automated coming out of the Corrigo system, right?
Yeah,
That's not going to be the case for a lot of other messages you get, but
I mean, we could just do like, if it's from Corrigo, then have another condition. If the body contains sent a new message, or on the subject line, a new message, move to another folder within the Corrigo subfolder. So we have like you have a main Corrigo folder, then you have another folders under it, say messages. And then you just filter out a new message to go in that folder. And if it's a PM, to say filter out preventive or quarterly maintenance, you go to maintenance folder. And if it has like a, can you give me an example of an emergency message for Corrigo?
Let me see. It should be when.
While she looks, Johnny, are you talking about a shared folder, or are you talking about each individual setting up all of these rules?
It's gonna be for individual users because these are all distro.
That's
Yeah.
really a terrible solution. To have everybody, have everybody have to set these things up and then manage them, If there's
Yeah.
any way to do it
I mean, if
Like-
we,
from the server end.
I mean, we could do group policy. If we have all the users, if they give us all the user requests, then I could just create group policy and make a rule and insert the Outlook.
Probably what we
That
need to
sounds-
do, Brian, is set a couple rules, like let's just say 4 or 5 rules, and then test it with a group, see if it all works. I know what you're saying. Who wants to do this all one at a time on each email application or person? But the first layer, I think, is what are they trying to sort out, and then what group could we assign that to?
I mean, the real question, Ruby, comes down to, does every last person that looks at, does every last person in this group have to look at this email to decide whether it's for them or not?
Yeah,
And ultimately, that's the problem, is that
right.
we got too damn many emails. And if you have everybody responsible for looking at every last email, somebody's going to drop the ball. Somebody's going to think somebody else took it, and that's why you have to, one of my, first suggestions is that you set somebody up that's maybe one day, one person is responsible for sorting these and then sending them out to somebody specifically. Because everybody looking at everything is a ridiculous solution. Even if we've got special sorting at each individual desk set up.
How do you know who this email is for?
Well, see, and that's what I was gonna get to too, is the fact that I personally think that we typically, like when we onboard a new customer, we'll create a distribution list. And so in order for us to avoid missing anybody, we tend to just blast everybody. You know what I mean? So we have like one master list of like who's everybody in the back office, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they have work in their specific area as of yet. And so we create, this master list that we just put everybody on. So when they say, hey, we got a new customer, let me go ahead and just copy, this email address, put all these people on this distribution list. And all of a sudden, Veronica Turner was just telling me this morning, she's like, hey, look, like I get all the T-Mobile stuff because it goes through Corrigo. So whenever I see anything come through for T-Mobile, I just delete it. So this is all, she's getting bombarded with something that has nothing to do with her, but it does because she operates in Corrigo as well. Make sense?
Quick question. Do you have access to Corrigo web portal? So I think I saw it once, and you can put individual email address for alerts. So maybe we could change it from there.
Yeah, hold on. I have it right here. The only thing is my access is going to be different from what Veronica has. I want to say she has like the main rights, and what I have access to is what the customer care girls have.
So
You see
we'll
what I mean?
see Veronica's
So you'd have to get with her, right, to see,
like notifications menu.
yeah. Yeah, but I mean, here's this access. again, you would have to probably get with her because I want to say she has more access to change the settings.
Yeah,
Mhm. Mhm.
I want to see that.
Yeah.
We'll put her on our list for next Tuesday or Wednesday.
Sorry, any more questions on this?
How do you know which one is, these are for you?
Well, that's the thing that, I mean, for me, it's a little different, but let's just say I'm running an area, right? I would have to go through each one. I'd
Okay,
have
what
to
do
open up each one
Okay,
and look at the territory it belongs to.
where is that? Is that in the site address?
No, not in the subject line, but yes, that would be down here in the site address, right here.
So is WA is WA a group that one
It's a
text says?
It's a state.
No, I know it's a state. But it's something we can sort on. Is that WA go to a certain person or people? or
Yeah,
groups?
yeah, like we have specific territories. So
And
that would
even
be
that-
also another thing. It'd be nice to be able to sort, you know, if it has the abbreviations of any of these states, they belong to a certain group.
Okay,
Um,
who does WA belong to?
like for instance, WA would, for the CCR, it would be Donna. But then as far as the service manager, it would be Joey Branch. He would be responsible for this.
So those two people, would this?
So those two people, but then you can't take off, you would have to include Andy Heidel because he's an area manager.
Sure.
So it's like you have to kind of go from hierarchy, like, you know, what belongs to what area, and then even from there, scale it down. And then does this belong to an account manager? Then at that point, then you know, does this belong to Veronica Munoz as well? Where she's responsible for it, the administrator? You know what I mean? So that's why it's a little complicated to try to sort
Yeah. Does
everything
this one-
out.
Does this one have anything to do with you?
What's up?
Does this one have anything to do with you?
Yeah, because I mean, I gotta make sure that the work orders are being accepted. So I would need to be on there, Justin would need to be on there.
I mean, if we sorted by WA, who gets eliminated? Is anybody? Like if we had a folder called WA, just as an example, it would be a separate folder. Who gets eliminated? Who does that eliminate from all these emails?
So off the bat, it would be everybody that belongs to Dave McCorkle, because he has nothing to do with that.
Okay. And he's on this alert list?
Yep. And you can tell, like, if you go in here, if you go to this, the two, you can see everybody that is included on here. I mean, look, even Dan's on here.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Look, the thing is, we need to pretend like we're creating some artificial intelligence. And like if WA means we can sort something and get it off some people's lists, that helps.
I think, I mean, specifically for this, for Corrigo, I think the best way to kind of clean this up as well would be to revise maybe this contact list, start there.
Okay, so like, here's your assignment, like for Corrigo, you could tell me who you think should be on the list.
Rather, hey, wait a second, rather than make this an IT function, why can't Ruby go manage that member list herself? Because we got people coming and going. There's just no way to, you know, it's much better to put the power in the hands of the local managers to be able to manage this kind of stuff.
Yeah, Justin has access to this. He's
Yeah,
the one
she
that
has
add
access to this.
the members.
So let's get him to make sure that this is updated, because IT will get it wrong, you know, very easily, where somebody that's close to the business, you know, will have all the information they need to figure it out, you know?
Yeah.
And let me make sure you understand me, like when I asked for the idea from Ruby, I'm not gonna do anything yet. I just want to get the pile, you know, what are you guys trying to do? And here's a pile of stuff, you know, it might be programmers, it might be us, it might be the area guide, just to get a start on it. it's almost like a programming issue, but you know, who knows?
In my opinion, it should be done with a smaller list, like Southeast Griego at powerplus.com. And it should be changed on Veronica Turner's side, because she had, I believe I saw the portal before, and there is a way to change the location, maybe change the different clients to email certain groups instead of sending to a whole master list. And maybe just group it a different way. That will make the mailbox smaller or messages smaller for everybody.
So make those settings at the Corrigo system end. Yeah, I
think that's-
agree.
Yeah.
And if they have access to make those changes and manage it, that's great.
Yeah, I mean, for, let's say we can't, what we can do is create a mail flow on the back end of Exchange. It's gonna be messy though, where has a rule if it's certain state, California or wherever the West Coast, if it sees all that states, it'll append to the subject line West Coast or something like that. And then
Yeah, the
if
problem
a
is,
person's,
if Dan wants me to get in front of, or Brian in front of 100 people, I wouldn't know where to start right now. That's, of course, that's why we're doing this. How many alert emails are there a day, Ruby? What's a, just guess.
My God, I mean, like I said, it just depends on the customers. For me, I mean, I get copied on everything.
But how many of those alert emails do you get? These are.
But on a, probably in a day, as far as emails, I probably get about 1,000 emails
You get 1,000, is that kind of an average for everybody?
for me. For everybody else, I can't say the same. I mean, if they're managing an area, like, you know, if they're managing a territory, like one of the girls, you know, probably about 200 is what I would say. But for me, because I cover everybody, I'd probably easy about 1,000 emails.
Okay.
I mean, I'm still trying to recover, and this is me reading my emails daily from just taking 2 days off, you know? So,
How come I don't see any alert emails in there?
what's up?
How come I don't see any alert emails in there?
Because I have those, the work order ones, I have them over here.
Oh, is alert mean work order? Is that what it means?
Yeah. Yeah. So as far as like, for instance, let me show you guys the rules that I have. These are all my rules that I have.
So you already have a pretty good list going.
Yeah,
Are they helpful now?
they do. I mean, I can sort through stuff. They do help, but like I said, for me, it's just, I don't know how to really utilize Outlook. So if I had more information on like how to search stuff, how to maybe organize, how to put together stuff, like I wish I knew how to create more detailed rules. The way I typically put these is by email address, you know, so I'll just copy the email address. And so it'd be nice to be able to know like shortcuts on how to maybe organize my inbox a little bit better versus the way that I currently have it right now.
So if you click the change rule button right now, edit the rule,
Uh-huh.
see all of that? It's designed in an English language manner so that it's, you know, because there's no way we can expect IT to manage this for every last user. So,
Right.
so you can look at like that second check mark there with specific words in the subject.
Uh-huh.
And you can turn that on and then click that and then list the words or maybe a phrase that you want to include this. So it can be very, very specific and very, very powerful. And there's all sorts of those little checkbox there, you know?
So would I be able to do this with like maybe that Corrigo one where it says, so filter, keep my work orders in the Corrigo folder
Uh-huh.
but then even there have sub,
Subfolders for
section.
each geographic area or something like that.
maybe
Yeah.
something along those lines.
Yeah, and I think that's where Dan is headed, is to look at information that's either in the subject or the body. But, you know, over time, things change, we add stuff, we customers go away. So that's why it has to kind of be an individual management using this tool. Johnny's thinking about some things that would be at the server level that would help us manage things without each individual user setting rules up and having to manage their own individual rules. Like, you know, like we said earlier, people come and go, CCRs are in and out.
Right.
And trying to, you know, for you as the manager to manage each one of their rule system, boy, that's a lot.
Mhm.
But for you, definitely you can use the power of this now.
Right.
Well, those are really good. That's really good stuff, Brian. Why don't we try to make one rule right now with you? Just for
Okay.
fun. Just for
All right,
fun.
let's,
So go back to,
Maybe the Corrigo one, yeah.
yeah, I was gonna say, how about, let's do this one,
okay,
change rule, right?
Uh-huh.
Edit rules,
That's it.
right, this one?
Mhm. So this is which, see how it says, which conditions do you want to check?
now let me interject real quick. There's a subject line search, and then there's a body search. Those are the
Yes.
two main ones.
It says with specific words in the body about 2/3 of the way down in that list.
Yeah,
Anyway, I just wanted to make sure you knew that.
with specific words in the subject or in the body.
What are you trying to get, and where are you trying to make it go?
What I'm thinking is maybe we can, oh wait, hold on. Let me see this real quick. What was the,
You kind of have to look at examples of them as you go, as you build
Yeah.
these things. Yeah, that's kind of what Dan was getting at, is what do these look like when they come in?
this one? Maybe if I could do one for this one, the quote, and then another one for the message. Let's try that.
Tell us what you're trying to do.
So what I'm thinking is, I'm trying to move. Oh, man. Hold on. Share this one. No.
Before you go to the rule change, show us in the email, show me in the email what you're trying to do. What are you looking for?
So what I'm looking at is, so you see how here off the bat, I'm seeing new message, like I can already tell this is going to be a new message, which are these. And then there's the ones that say quote approval.
Okay.
So maybe even being able to move these into its own category would be helpful.
Yeah, let's try one, because we can turn it off if it's not good.
Let's do
Alright.
this real quick. Please go back to your Outlook menu. Let's create a subfolder first under Corrigo.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Uh,
I think you're on, yeah.
Mm,
new folder above. The second.
New folder.
oh, there it is.
So you want new messages and approval in the same one?
So new messages. No, just new messages. Or no, we'll just do messages. And then maybe I'll do another one, but for approvals.
Let's just try that first.
Okay,
Let's not get crazy.
The rules. Yeah.
so now go here.
Instead of editing this one, create a new one because we don't want to get rid of the original.
And I want to see what you're trying to get. What words are you, or what are you trying to get?
What do you mean, Johnny? So,
We're gonna make a new rule.
Okay.
Okay,
So let's
But-
focus on bulk approval. Okay.
What are you looking for in the email to pick that up?
on the quote approval,
Yeah, go to the actual email.
this
Yeah.
one here.
Okay, what words are you looking to pull out? Quote approval?
Yeah,
Okay, copy and paste that in the notepad for me. Please. Just a notepad. Search for notepad. Let's put it in notepad for now. There you go.
okay,
Because here, let me tell you where I'm going with this. We'll probably put a space before and after that word, those two words. Anyway, yeah, we'll see, but maybe not. But anyway, that, I just want to see what you're looking for. Okay, you can go ahead now. And listen to Johnny now.
Okay, go ahead and go to rules now.
new rule?
Let's create a new rule. And let's click next for now. We'll change the other stuff later. Okay, from, so click on people or public group. And go to from on the bottom. And get the right hand side, erase that and put the Corrigo at powerplus.com. And click OK. Oh, sorry, should be sent to. Click no. On top, let's see, uncheck that, and go to sent to.
Sent to me?
No, down more. You see where my name is not in the T, in the two box? Down more, down one more, that one. You can check that. And go ahead and put, yeah, let's edit that and look for Corrigo or type Corrigo at PowerPlus.
Okay,
Now,
specific, right?
Yeah.
Mm. What do I have this under? Is it automated right here?
let's do approval.
Do approvals?
Yeah, click OK. Now let's check mark with specific words in the subject. Is the second one? Oh yeah. Let's click that. And let's add full approval or copy and paste it right now. Leave it still here.
You want
Yeah.
spaces in it? Johnny, you want spaces front and back on that?
I don't think it needs to, since it's no, the subject line is always wherever has full approval, the subject line,
Okay.
it's gonna be in
Okay.
there anyway. I
But
click add.
Ruby, just so you know, on some rules, like, let's say you were gonna do it by state CA,
Uh-huh.
what you would want to do is do a space before and a space after. That way you don't get all kinds of other stuff. You get CA by itself. That was
Oh,
where I was going with
okay,
that.
that's good to know. Got it.
And click OK. Next. And let's change the rule name. Put Corrigo approval.
What is it?
Anything you want. Just put,
Corrigo
I would
approval?
put, yeah.
Let me do this.
It's gonna take a while.
Yeah, it's going to go through your whole inbox and search for any matches to that and throw that message into this new folder.
What's really cool, Ruby, just so you know, is these programs are so powerful that they're searching through the bodies of all these emails, and it's going pretty quick, really. It's
Yeah,
kind of
as- And it happens as each one of them comes in, so you don't have this wait every time, right? You've probably
Right.
seen how it's kind of just running your rules as new messages come in and they
Yeah.
disappear. Yeah.
But anyway, it's pretty amazing to me that you get this much sorting going on in the bodies. And you're probably pretty good at this, Ruby, just so you know. We're just we're trying to kind of figure out what Dan is looking for, what you're looking for.
Yeah,
And we're
I
trying
mean-
to not make it so we have to do it for every single person. That's the-
yeah,
that's the
I'm- like I
ultimate
said-
goal, But, you know,
yeah, I think it's more like I said, I think it's just like, I mean, we don't know, we don't know how to really utilize a lot of this back end stuff.
Well, you're gonna become the expert.
All right.
we're gonna tell them to call you.
There we go.
Okay.
How come I didn't move anything?
You go to Corrigo folder again. Votes. Oh, sent.
Is it in the header, not the body?
It's in the header.
I think we pulled it out of the body on the rule.
No, it's overlapping with another rule. Go to rules.
Oh, you
Oh,
did.
yeah, the main one for putting things in Corrigo, yeah.
Yeah, so uncheck the sent to people. I believe what you have right now is from, so we want to piggyback from. So check mark the third one. And click that and change that to AM. In the box there, I think it was AM dot something.
It's alerts, right?
Yeah, alert dot AM.
Alert,
Corrigo.
alerts, no, it is am.corrigopro.com, right?
Right, yeah, that's what it's looking for. Because earlier it didn't change it because there was two rows fighting each other.
Oh,
So it might have moved and then the other one put it back where it was.
It's like a double reverse in football.
Either way, you don't get anywhere.
yeah.
If you're the Rams.
No. I don't get it because here's here's the email address.
And is that in your inbox right now?
Yeah,
No, it's in her, another folder.
it's in here. It's in my original Corrigo one.
Oh, so it's not in your inbox. So this is looking
Oh.
for things in your inbox. So we could change it to look in things in Corrigo to then,
That might be okay. This is really her alerts inbox, it looks like. For Corrigo.
Can you go to that role again real quick? Go to rule manager. And go to run rules now on the second option. To
This
the
one?
right. To the right.
To the right, to the right.
Next to option, yeah, one, yeah. Click that. And include subfolders. Select the rule first.
Yeah, that's the rule.
And include subfolders.
Roll run now.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's why we have Johnny on these calls. He's like the master.
Mhm.
Johnny, do you play chess and beat the world champs or?
No, I suck at chess.
Okay,
I lose to 10-year-olds.
Yeah, maybe we should play each other in the office. Oh, it's going through a bunch of them. Of course, that's on the first time.
There, sees it.
So Ruby, I think what will help us in the long run is if you can write down some rules you'd like
Mhm.
for you and then rules you think other people need. Because what I'd like to do is get like everybody's thoughts and then
Okay.
we can figure out what to do with it all.
Okay,
Um, And, be specific, because a lot of times when you're specific, it helps build one rule, and then you can go from there and say, is that a bad idea or a good idea?
Gotcha.
Because
Let
you
me
guys.
ask, let me-
There it
let me
went.
ask- oh,
There
go
you go.
ahead. There you go.
All
Let me
right.
ask a question, and it's kind of a hard question, Ruby.
What's up?
Can you manage without seeing and being CC'd on every last thing in email? Can you trust the CCRs? Can you trust your staff enough that they will do their job? Or are you in a place where you really can't trust them, so you have to get a CC on everything each of them does? I'm like I said, it's a really hard question, and it looks like in a lot of cases CCing Dan Isley, CCing everybody on these lists, and that creates an impossible situation for management.
Yeah. I mean, I think that the hardest part about that, right, is the fact that we don't have a system that would catch, like, let's just say one of them called out, right? So if I'm not CC'd on everybody, I don't have anybody that's really, aside from the service manager, that really has eyes on what's coming through, like who's backfilling for them, right, while they're out on vacation, COVID. So it seems very redundant, but just with our system, we don't have anything in place where maybe there's like a order management list that you can go off of, and all right, someone pulled it off the queue, so someone's working on it. Everything is by hand, you know what I mean? So if we had something that was a little bit more automated, then no problem. The other thing that kind of plays in this is some of my team members are new, there's a lot of moving parts. Someone might be covering for somebody else, so they need access. So that's the hard part. It's not that I don't trust them, it's just that, I'm kind of their safety net on a lot of stuff, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it's a terrible way to manage people and systems.
Yeah.
It really is. Johnny, as we kind of started, was talking about maybe some ways of automating things. I mean, this is great, but this is only good for you unless you show somebody else how to create these groups and then manage them for them. And like you said, if somebody's out, their personal rules, throw everything out the window, because then it falls back to I guess you as the manager to pick up on the fact that somebody's out and having to figure out how to reroute things. Anyway, that's just the best way. What we've found within IT and any kinds of systems are to manage by exception. Do you know what I mean when I say manage by exception?
No.
What you want are systems that are automated as possible, that bring things to a manager's attention at the time that they need to be brought to the attention. For example, maybe the Corrigo system might even have some dashboarding functionality that would help us with this. Say a message goes through and isn't answered through Corrigo for 10 minutes. Maybe that forces a message to the next person in line, the manager, but the manager doesn't have to see every last one of the original ones. So essentially the exception is, hey, this wasn't handled in whatever time period, or it wasn't pulled off of a queue, because I'm assuming there's some kind of work order queue that somebody in Corrigo says, hey, I got this one, right?
Right.
And for our customers who are using work order systems like Corrigo, and I think there's another one or two of them that are out there, those kinds of tools are invaluable for helping us manage by exception. For example, the HR payroll stuff, you'll get a message that says, hey, you know, you haven't approved this person's vacation, right?
Mhm.
That's an exception because it doesn't necessarily, or it's been a while. Maybe it's been a week and this thing is still not done. We'll get those messages from HR on every other Monday that says, hey, you know, these things aren't done. It's almost that, you know, it's an exception handling system to make sure that, you know, the people that need to know at the right time to jump in and you know, help correct whatever situation has gone wrong because somebody ignored something, or maybe something in the system caused that, you know, that specific message to fall through the cracks.
Mhm.
Anyway, but this whole idea of manage by exception is really the only way to deal with these kinds of systems.
Let me ask you a question. How many emails are in that? Oh, in that Corrigo, there's 196. And out of that, there was 12 approvals. Approvals are pretty important. Is that correct?
No, well, 12 are unread.
Oh, so how many's in there? Oh, 195 are in there.
100, yeah, but the
How
thing
many
too
is it?
is,
How many is in the main one?
so, but here's the other thing, right, to this. Even my stuff, I mean, I have to archive, I'll call him back. Oh, 1 second, okay? Hold on. Hey, Todd.
Yeah, so it's almost like, I don't know, Brian, our approvals, like we got the deal,
Dan Dyke?
or do you know?
Don't know. Yeah, it probably is. My guess is that it's a quote that was submitted into Corrigo,
Right,
and they're notifying that the customer, again, a Corrigo is a third party that a bunch of our customers use.
right.
Um,
If this actually worked on approvals, that seems like a good thing to me, because that means they're really work that we have. Probably the two important would be the emergency ones and the approval ones,
Right.
and everything else is in the gray area. How many's, go back up to Corrigo, how many's in that folder? Oh, 10,000, that's sweet.
And the thing too is, I have my stuff archived set up for every, like, I think it's 3 months.
Every year.
Is that what I have on mine?
Yes. I believe I think I put 1 year because your mailbox kept getting full.
Yeah, 'cause I remember. Oh, see, since July, so every 6 months.
Okay. But anyway, it looks like approvals are ones that are good. How many's in there? 196? It seems to me those needs probably attention. I would assume from this, but I don't know the business, of course. So I would assume approvals are really important and emergencies are important. Do you get emergency notices in this email group?
In here, yeah, but again, the way that they come across, like,
Like what's an emergency email in there?
let me try to find you one. Oh, I just had searched for one.
Now, did approvals help you? Does that help?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that definitely helps.
I like to think Johnny's smart, and sometimes he is.
he's always smart.
I really think we should look at the Corrigo portal from Veronica's side, because I think will help reduce the
Right.
emails a lot.
Right. I'll ask her if we can meet with her like next Wednesday at the same time, so we can kind of stay after this. Maybe
Hopefully
just,
there's some kind of dashboard that would, you know, provide information that says these are things that have fallen through the cracks, and help you find those things quickly rather than having to look at every last one of these.
Yeah,
Right.
I agree.
And then the other thing, like for instance, like also when like the client ones, the ones from the phone, the after hours, that one too. I mean, everybody receives them. Everybody has to take a look at those.
Wow.
So this would be the header on like an emergency one. This one right here.
What's in the header?
It says admin 4-hour ETA. So
Oh.
off the bat, like this, we have to respond within 4 hours.
Now, could we try making a roll on that? Kind of to end our little time here?
Is the 4-hour ETA, does it vary, like 2 hours, 1 hour?
Yeah, and it could be like a day.
So.
I'd
could we
say
sort
we
on-
can go based off of
could
HR
we sort on
ETA.
Could we sort on ETA, Johnny?
Yeah, I think we should do HR ETA, hour ETA instead of ETA
Oh,
only,
okay.
because it could be days ETA, right?
Okay, so for instance, like this one, if I want to do a rule for that one, so new rule, right?
Yeah,
Okay, new rule. Okay, what I can- Okay.
click on the row top.
Okay, there it is.
Okay, on the bottom. Yeah, from, and you'll
And then
put
this
the AM alerts at am.corrigopro.com. Yeah.
But we also have to run it off of a subgroup, right? Under like, that it pulls from everything, correct? 'Cause
It will,
Okay, okay.
it was
all
just
right.
the first run, we had to do it, include the sub.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay. And then this one, specified folder, and then we're gonna go under, so this one, oh, I gotta create a new one. Hold on.
Yeah.
New. Let me do emergencies.
Let's click next. And with the specific words in the subject. Now let's put HR space ETA caps lock. Let's put,
Good add,
I think.
or
Brian, do
maybe
you know-
urgent, no?
Hey, Brian, do you know if it's caps sensitive?
Shouldn't be,
Shouldn't it be?
should not be, no.
Should not be, okay. Let's put, I think it ended with a closing parentheses.
Closing them with parentheses,
Yeah,
like this?
oh, not parentheses,
No, parentheses, the circular kind of
half circle,
half circle, yeah.
shift 0,
Shift 0 on your top of your keyboard.
with no space. I
There it
think.
is.
I don't think it has space in the subject line for that one.
Oh,
So it's going to do an exact text match on this phrase. So if it's not exact, then things will get left out.
Yeah.
There you go.
now, click
Did you
add.
put a space in front of it?
No,
No one in the
Press.
front.
no, no.
You don't need that one in the front.
Do they need a space in the front?
No,
That's pretty unusual.
yeah,
so do the add now?
yeah,
Uh-huh.
click OK.
So you're already an expert, Ruby.
Right? Let's start teaching a course.
Next.
Well, and that's, if we do it this way, you're going to have to. You're going to have to train every new person that comes in. You're going to have to review these rules with each of your people.
Mhm.
This is a major undertaking if we can't figure out a way to do it from the back end.
Right.
Now,
We
this-
we
this
might
run
on
rules-
this, we might on this one be able to figure the back end.
this run rules probably didn't include the subfolder, so you probably have to click on the run rules now again,
Wait, where?
on top.
On top where it says run rules now to the right.
To the right, to the right, to the right.
There it is.
Yeah.
And
And I believe it's that one right there. Check mark that.
Check the rule
Yeah, that's the rule.
and then subfolders there, yeah.
oh boy. This may take a while.
Oh, Brian, come on. You can play chess in between these sorts. You can change
So
that.
what direction do you have from your boss to deal with this? Tell us a little bit about what you've heard.
From Justin or
I
Dan?
don't know whoever your boss is.
JB? I mean, he's on the same boat like I am.
Does he use rules to do this stuff? Has
Yeah,
shown
he
you
does.
this?
He does. I mean, he's shown me some stuff, but again, I don't think we've really gone into detail, like to really try to figure this out because we're so inundated with work. We're just trying to just stay afloat for the day, you know, just try to just move along and
Yeah, and that's the thing is that, you know, we're going to expect each of your people to become experts like you, which may be too much to expect.
let's see. Okay.
Unknown caller.
So it says there's only 12 in there?
Yeah. So you know what I think we're missing? Because there's some emergencies that are a day.
Oh, are those considered urgency too?
Yeah, because it's, I mean, instead of them putting
Okay.
24 hours. Hold on, let's see if
Okay, I guess we could just remove that HR then, just put ETA.
Watch.
I thought it was just wanted the hours only.
These are not 30 days, but there's like 2 days.
Let's try ETA real quick.
Unknown caller.
Oh, like this one. See?
Oh, 1 day. How about
Yeah.
2 days? 2 days not considered?
Yeah, 2 days too. Anything past that, I mean, it's more of a scheduled work, but
Hey,
anything
Johnny,
within,
the space before might help on E ETA.
What we can do is add more to the list. So let's go to roles again. And let's click on the HR ETA. at the
change
bottom. You could put on there.
or here.
Yeah, so you could add 1 day ETA. And just add that.
Unknown caller.
And 2 days, is 2 days one of it?
Oh, yeah.
Is there a typo in there? No, I guess not. Sorry.
And that should include the other ones, yeah. So yeah, I want to do run rules now again.
Bro, okay.
So Ruby, does all this help you, you think?
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Okay, I brought the best brains I had. It wasn't me, it was Brian and Johnny.
Yeah.
I'll
It
make-
definitely helps. I mean, like I said, we don't play really around with this, you know.
Right. Well,
As
one
soon
thing
as-
we could, sometimes we can make documentation that helps people, and then sometimes we can give them some specific time. But what we're trying to figure out is what's the best thing for them to do it, so we know ahead of time.
Gotcha.
And you can see that even with a few rules, things get complicated fast.
Yeah.
There's 230 now, so that's probably correct. Or how many? There's 62? 62 emergencies.
Yeah, this is great.
So our goal with this whole thing will be to, you know, leave you more time to do coaching and to do the things that are most important for you, you know,
Yeah,
as opposed to having to follow up on these things. And you can see how old they are now in each of these folders. So at some point, do you actually delete these emails, or do you just leave them in these folders forever?
I mean, I think at this point, like I said, most of my stuff I just archive. It's rare that I would ever delete anything.
So that 545 message there that's highlighted, how do you know somebody took that and ran with it, dealt with it?
I know. I mean, I'm assuming like stuff like this, like these messages where they're asking for an update in the portal.
Yeah,
Because it is more of an automated one, I don't tend to look at these, because like this one, it says, please submit invoice. If someone's not submitting an invoice, for instance, then I'll get an email from Veronica saying, hey, we got to get with this admin to make sure that they're uploading stuff in a timely manner. I got a notification from the customer.
you want to, you should have a way of doing that before she finds out about it,
Yeah, now at this point, yeah.
Is please submit invoice. Is that when they're ready to pay?
Yeah,
Maybe a sort on that might be good too, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe not, but
but I think you guys are on it, like where you get feedback from how everybody kind of searches their stuff. Like an account manager, a CCR, maybe someone from rental.
Mm.
So you guys can kind of see the type of volume that they're getting. Even within them, I mean, the way that they search stuff, I think is a little bit different probably in the way in our heading, because I don't see stuff really for rental. I get more stuff, everything just for service, everything on our end, on the back end.
Well, these are definitely some tools that can help.
Mhm.
But again, it gets complicated fast and you have to manage it. If Corrigo changes a word in their email system, all of a sudden you've got to go in and review and
Okay.
revise all of your rules,
Yeah.
the good thing though,
Um,
Brian, here on this is if they change their word, at least you catch it in the top folder.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah, you
the good part.
yeah,
What is really super helpful is if these can be, if a lot of people use this, then we can do it on the back end with the server. And that makes it a lot easier for everybody. But we have to know that's, it's kind of common for everybody. But,
well, and that was kind of the point earlier, is that we'd want Ruby or somebody smart in the business to be managing those rules, even if they are at the server level.
Yep.
Mhm.
Because like I said, IT gets things wrong all the time. Dan doesn't, Johnny doesn't, but
Brian does.
we're not close enough. We're not close enough to the business to know the difference,
Hey, Ruby, let's try one last thing.
Sure.
Let's try to sort by please submit invoice. Would that be helpful? Copy that.
Oh,
that
let me show
first,
you this one. There was another one. Hold on.
and then we'll let everybody go because I know everybody's got stuff going on. So
I think it was.
Yeah, I got 300 emails since we've been on this call.
whatever.
I got to reveal my rules.
Are they sorting correctly? Did you lose them?
No, I have to look at every
No,
one of them to decide
only
whether or not
lose-
I
you
do
only-
something with it.
You only lose mine. That's the ones you lose.
Yeah. Well, lose, ignore, they're kind of the same thing, right?
There's one that says invoice.
Well, that one said, please submit invoice.
Yeah, but there's another one I had asked Justin about. Let me show you. Wasn't this one? Where is it?
I think the main thing on these subfolders is flagging the most important. I mean, you know that the
Yeah.
most important
Like
information.
even this one, like this CRU chats, I'm gonna do a rule for that.
Okay.
Cool.
Well, you could do that rule instead of invoicing because you're on this now.
Here, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it.
But my suggestion is you always copy the the words and put them in notepads so you don't miss the space and stuff like that.
Oh, gotcha. Let me see. This
This
one
way.
is CRU chats.
Yeah, Johnny taught me that trick. So
He teaches us all good tricks.
Yeah, Johnny's a trick master.
Hold on. It was, this one was under change rule.
Hey, Brian or Johnny, can rules be
Let's create a
copied
new
from one
rule
user
for
to
that.
another?
Sorry, say it again.
Well, I'm
Can
thinking
rules
about
be-
putting it in here,
Can
putting it
rules be
under
copied from
messages.
one?
Oh, yeah, but you'll want to create a new rule, so it doesn't change the other
Oh.
ones.
Yeah,
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 you can create new rules from existing rules, if that's what you're asking.
yeah.
No, I
So
mean, can you move it from one user to another? Like copy a group of rules from Ruby to say another user, or do you have to do each user separately?
I don't know.
Do you know, Johnny?
I'm sorry.
Each user may have separate cases. Are you able to export rules and import them in other users? Because rules, I think, are very personal, the ones that are here.
Yeah, there is export rules. If you go to options, in the rules manager, you can export and then import rules.
Okay, thank you.
We can make a baseline one. And then they can import that, but they have to create the folders themselves, I think.
So they have to do the folders, right?
Yeah.
Probably. Well, one thing we could do is once we get down the line on this is do little, 5-10 minute videos. And have people watch those, and if they need more help, we can give it to them.
Yeah,
That's one thing.
I was searching for some YouTube videos that may be helpful also.
Yeah.
Didn't find a great one yet.
Well, it's because you're watching rock and roll bands, but we know what you're doing.
Oh yeah, it's a great show on Netflix. I watch it every day from 8 to 4:30.
Hmm. Ruby's running special things now.
Yeah, she's got it figured out.
That makes me a little nervous. What's Ruby doing?
She's going to be focused on rules and never get her work done anymore.
Yep. It's gonna be like rules on rules on rules. I'm gonna have 6,000 emails, but they're just gonna be in folders now.
Yeah, I'm not sure how helpful that's going to be, because now you have to go to every last folder to look for them too, because you're still going to have FOMO if you haven't looked at every one of them.
Yeah, oh, for sure. For sure. Dang.
And that's the goal, is to not have you have to look at all of them,
Yeah.
only raise the important ones. But you definitely see how powerful the rule system is. So
Yeah.
What was your rule here, Ruby?
Moving all the CRU chats. So it sends you a notification of like a message, right? And then it puts it like on a dashboard. Let me show you. Hi. It puts it like on a dashboard, and so it's redundant because it's the same message that was just sent. So
Where'd you put them in? What folder? Oh,
so
a folder.
in the messages. So see how it's just telling me, hey, there's a message for you guys. So
Right.
these are all messages that already came through. See, it's just redundant.
Yeah, it says there's 1,300 of them, so they're kind of not that important, right?
Exactly. So these I could just hit read every day and I'll be okay.
Okay.
But these are the ones that I'm more concerned about, like these approvals, the emergencies, like that's what I need to make sure and keep top of mind, so that I'm not missing anything.
Yeah, why don't you let us know if these rules kind of helped you a lot or a little
Okay.
or not, or
Okay.
whatever, because I like what you did with the messages, got rid of the stuff that wasn't important, really.
Right. Okay. That
And
works.
then go down to messages. I think it moved 1,000 of them.
1,300.
Yeah, so that helps a lot.
Yeah.
So do you see how you could, I mean, we focused in on the ones coming from Corrigo, but do you see how you could build rules
Yeah,
for, for incoming messages from other places to do the
Yeah.
same kind of thing? That's
yep.
cool.
Thank you guys. Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
And Ruby, one thing you could do, like if you want help while we're figuring all this out,
Mhm.
is make a help desk and say, can you put this rule in and give us the user info?
Okay,
And we could probably just give you a hand, on, like if you find one of these rules really like was a knockout, or, just a really great thing to help right away, just let us know on our help desk and we can help the user. Or
you know
we'll
what,
get-
I'm even thinking of when I onboard like a new CCR, having preset subgroups, that I can send you guys a list and maybe we can set that up to help
Yeah.
them filter out some of that information.
Yeah.
Okay, that works. Thank you guys.
The other
Alright.
thing you can do is call Steve Bray and let him know how helpful his IT staff is.
Will do.
All right.
All right, thanks guys.
Brian.
Bye guys.
All right, see you guys later. See you, Brian. I'm
Bye-bye.
gonna see if we can do Veronica and Justin next week from now.
Oh, boy.
Is your
Thanks, Ruby.
schedule? Is your
Thanks, guys.
schedule good? Brian?